Have you ever stood in front of your medicine cabinet, staring at all the bottles and wondering if you're taking the right ones at the right times? It's a common feeling, especially after 70, when managing medications can start to feel like a full-time job. For many seniors, prescriptions are a lifeline, helping manage chronic conditions, ease pain, or keep health issues in check. But here's the thing. Medications can also be a double-edged sword. If not managed carefully, they can lead to complications that do more harm than good. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 dangers to watch out for when it comes to medication after 70. These aren't just warnings, they're practical insights you can use to stay safe and take control of your health. By the end of this conversation, you'll know exactly what red flags to look for and how to avoid potential pitfalls. So, let's dive in and start with the first danger. The first danger is one that often sneaks up on people: drug interactions. Many seniors take multiple medications, sometimes prescribed by different doctors, which can increase the risk of harmful interactions. For example, imagine Helen, who's been managing high blood pressure with one medication for years. Recently, her doctor added another prescription to help with joint pain. Unknown to Helen, these two drugs don't mix well together, leading to dizziness and fatigue. At first, she chalked it up to aging, but over time, the symptoms worsened, affecting her balance and even causing a fall. Drug interactions like this are more common than you might think. They happen when 2 or more medications work against each other or amplify side effects, creating problems that didn't exist before. The good news is that you can reduce this risk by keeping an updated list of all your medications, including over-the-counter drugs, vitamins, and supplements, and sharing it with your pharmacist or primary care doctor. They can spot potential conflicts and suggest alternatives if needed. And don't hesitate to ask questions. If something feels off after starting a new medication, trust your instincts and bring it up with your healthcare provider. Now, let's move on to the second danger: improper dosing. As we age, our bodies process medications differently. What worked perfectly a decade ago might now be too strong or too weak for your current needs. Take John, for instance. He's been taking the same dose of a sleep aid for years, but lately, he's been feeling groggy during the day and struggling to concentrate. It turns out his kidneys, which help filter medications from the body, aren't working as efficiently as they used to, causing the drug to linger longer than intended. Improper dosing can happen for several reasons: changes in metabolism, weight fluctuations, or even forgetfulness about how much to take. That's why it's crucial to review your medications regularly with your doctor. Don't assume that once a prescription is written, it's set in stone. Your healthcare team should adjust dosages based on your current health status and any new symptoms you're experiencing. If you're unsure about how much to take or when, consider using a pill organizer or setting reminders on your phone. These small steps can make a big difference in staying consistent and safe. The third danger links into something many seniors face: skipping doses or doubling up. Let's say Mary has a busy week visiting family. In the shuffle, she forgets to take her morning pills one day. When she realizes her mistake later, she decides to take twice the amount to catch up. This might seem harmless, but it can actually overwhelm your system and lead to serious side effects. On the flip side, consistently missing doses can leave your body without the support it needs, making your condition harder to manage. To avoid this trap, create a routine around your medications. Pair them with daily activities like brushing your teeth or having breakfast, so they become second nature. If you do miss a dose, resist the urge to play catch-up unless your doctor specifically advises it. Instead, call your pharmacist or doctor for guidance. They're there to help, not judge. Remember, consistency is key. Taking your medications as prescribed ensures they work the way they're meant to, keeping you healthier and more comfortable in the long run. Now that we've covered drug interactions, improper dosing, and the risks of skipping or doubling doses, we're ready to talk about the next set of dangers. These upcoming points will build on what we've already discussed, giving you even more tools to navigate the world of medications safely. Stick with me, because understanding these signals could inspire you to make small changes that add up to big results over time. Let's keep going together. The fourth danger: ignoring side effects. Many seniors brush off unusual symptoms after starting a new medication, thinking it's just part of aging or something they need to tough out. But side effects aren't something you should ever ignore. They're your body's way of telling you something isn't right. Take Sarah, for example. She started taking a new blood pressure medication and noticed she felt unusually dizzy and nauseous within days. At first, she thought maybe she was just tired or stressed, so she kept taking the pills as prescribed. A week later, her dizziness got worse, and she nearly fainted while walking her dog. It turned out the medication was causing low blood pressure, which explained her symptoms. If Sarah had reported these side effects earlier, her doctor could have adjusted her prescription sooner and avoided unnecessary discomfort and potential danger. The truth is, medications are designed to help, but they can also cause problems if they don't suit your unique biology. Common side effects like fatigue, confusion, nausea, or even skin rashes might seem minor, but they can escalate quickly if ignored. Always pay attention to how you feel after starting a new medication, and don't hesitate to reach out to your pharmacist or doctor if something seems off. They'd much rather address your concerns early than deal with complications later. Now, let's talk about the fifth danger: mixing medications with supplements or over-the-counter drugs. This is another area where many seniors unknowingly put themselves at risk. You might think that herbal supplements, vitamins, or even common over-the-counter pain relievers are harmless because they're not prescription medications, but that's not always true. These products can interact with your prescriptions in ways you wouldn't expect. Consider Tom, who takes a blood thinner prescribed by his cardiologist. One day, he decides to take an aspirin for a headache without thinking twice about it. What he doesn't realize is that combining aspirin with his blood thinner increases his risk of bleeding, a potentially life-threatening complication. Similarly, dietary supplements like St. John's wort, fish oil, or even multivitamins can interfere with how certain medications work, either reducing their effectiveness or amplifying their side effects. The key takeaway here is simple. Never assume anything is safe just because it's available without a prescription. Always check with your healthcare provider before adding any new supplement or over-the-counter drug to your routine. Keep an updated list of everything you're taking, including dosages, and bring it to every appointment. Your doctor and pharmacist are there to ensure everything works together safely, but they can only do that if they have all the information. As we wrap up these dangers, it's important to reflect on how interconnected they are. Drug interactions, improper dosing, skipped doses, ignored side effects, and risky combinations all stem from one core issue: lack of communication and awareness. Managing medications doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's about staying informed and proactive. By recognizing these pitfalls and addressing them head-on, you're not just protecting yourself from harm, you're empowering yourself to live healthier, happier, and more confidently. We'll continue exploring additional strategies to stay safe with medications and link everything together in the next part. Stick with me, because understanding these nuances will give you peace of mind and practical tools to navigate this critical aspect of your health journey. Let's keep going together. Now that we've covered drug interactions, improper dosing, skipped doses, ignored side effects, and risky combinations with supplements or over-the-counter drugs. Let's move on to another critical danger: misunderstanding medication instructions. It might seem simple enough. Just read the label and follow the directions. But it's surprising how often small details can be overlooked. Take Margaret, for instance. She was prescribed a new medication for her arthritis, but she didn't realize that "take with food" wasn't just a suggestion. It was essential to avoid stomach irritation. After taking the pills on an empty stomach several times, she began experiencing severe nausea and discomfort. What started as a minor oversight turned into weeks of unnecessary pain before she realized what had gone wrong. Misunderstanding even one part of your medication instructions can lead to complications that could have been easily avoided. To prevent this from happening, always ask questions when you're given a new prescription. Don't hesitate to clarify anything unclear about dosage, timing, or whether it should be taken with food or water. Pharmacists are an excellent resource. They're there to help explain things in plain language, so you feel confident about what you're taking. If you're worried about forgetting important details, write them down or use a medication management app to keep track. The more clarity you have, the safer you'll be. Finally, let's talk about the last danger: failing to regularly review your medications with your doctor. Over time, our bodies change, and so do our health needs. A medication that worked perfectly 5 years ago might no longer be necessary, or worse, it could now pose risks you weren't aware of. For example, Robert had been taking a sleep aid for years without issue, but as his kidney function declined with age, the drug began accumulating in his system, leading to excessive drowsiness and confusion during the day. He hadn't thought to discuss it with his doctor because he assumed everything was fine since it had worked before. Regular medication reviews are crucial, especially after 70. Make it a habit to sit down with your healthcare provider at least once a year or more frequently if your conditions change, to evaluate whether each medication is still serving its purpose. Ask yourself, is this drug still helping me? Are there newer alternatives with fewer side effects? Could I reduce my reliance on certain prescriptions by making lifestyle changes? These conversations empower you to take charge of your health rather than simply following old routines out of habit. Reflecting on all these dangers: drug interactions, improper dosing, skipping doses, ignoring side effects, mixing medications with supplements, misunderstanding instructions, and neglecting regular reviews, it's clear that managing medications requires vigilance and communication. None of us are immune to mistakes, but awareness goes a long way toward prevention. By staying proactive and informed, you not only protect yourself from potential harm, but also ensure that your medications work effectively to support your well-being. Remember, small actions today can make a big difference tomorrow. Whether it's using a pill organizer, asking your pharmacist questions, or scheduling annual medication check-ins with your doctor, every step counts toward living healthier and happier. You deserve peace of mind when it comes to something as vital as your medications. Thank you for joining me in this discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you encountered any medication mishaps, or do you have tips for staying safe? Share your experiences in the comments below. They might just help someone else facing similar challenges. And if you found value in this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others who might benefit. Together, we can create a community focused on thriving through knowledge and support. Here's to taking control of your health and embracing every moment of this incredible chapter of life. Until next time, take care and stay strong.